happens in the Middle East. So could a stock like Noodles and Company, the rapidly expanding chain of 350 noodle and pasta restaurants that has the potential to build out 2,500 total locations across the country, fall into the special situations category? Noodles came public 2 months ago at $18, popped over 100% on its first day of trading. Since then, it's rallied another 15%, although the stock has pulled back late, down more than 8 points from its high. Noodles and Company was heralded by some of the second coming of Chipotle, as the CEO was Chipotle's chief operating officer during his first big growth spurt before it came public. Now, Noodles reported its first quarter's publicly traded company less than 3 weeks ago, delivering a 6-cent earnings beat off a 12-cent basis, with revenues that came in better than expected, up 18% year over year, 4.4% increase in same-store sales. The guidance was only in line, and when you're dealing with a high-flying growth stock like this, investors want more than in line, which is why the stock got clubbed the following day, down $5. Despite the pullback, though, the stock still sells for 77 times next year's earnings, which is a very expensive stock, even for a company with 21.4% long-term growth rate. And that makes me think you want to wait for the stock to get hit harder by the market-wide weakness before you consider pulling the trigger. However, the fresh story with a new concept rarely comes cheap. We need to learn more about this one. That's why I'm thrilled to have Kevin Reddy, the chairman and CEO of Noodles and Company, here with us tonight to talk about his very exciting company and its amazing prospects. Mr. Reddy, welcome to Man Money.
Hey,
Kevin, have a seat. All right, now, first of all, those of us who don't know it and then looked at the food, went to the website, our immediate reaction is, when are you coming to Manhattan and when are you going to be able to blanket an area like the New York, New Jersey? And the answer is, you have a lot of runway, because you've got a lot of places like New York that don't have noodles yet.
Absolutely. You know, we have, as you mentioned, a little over 350 restaurants. We're comfortable. We can have 2,500 in the U.S. That's 7 times our current size. This food came from one of our great partners and franchisees in Garden City, Long Island. We're close to New Jersey, so we're very disciplined.
Okay, how about the competition? Brian Sullivan today on Street Signs had a story which said that Colorado is the most over-restaurant place in America. How's Colorado doing?
You know, Colorado's doing great. In fact, I would tell you, one of the things that I'm most encouraged by is our mature markets where we have better brand awareness and we've been there longer. We're still building a lot of restaurants. We have plenty of growth. We haven't hit a point of diminishing returns. So that guest loyalty is fantastic, and we're still growing.
Now, these are complex dishes. This is not, I mean, I go to Panera all the time. I go to Chipotle all the time. These are not simple dishes to make.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, one of the great things about Noodles and Company, and I think why we have so little competition, this is complex to do.
Yes.
We have wonderful fresh ingredients. As you can see, the plates Jim are holding up, you know, they are hearty, they're tasty, great vegetables, and we offer so much choice from healthy to indulgent to our guests. And I'll tell you, we have a ton of dishes under 500 calories. So you can eat healthy to indulgent, like I said, favorites from kids to adults.
Your specials are traditional in that they're not just like, it's not a Happy Meal, it's not more sugar, it's not more salt. It's asparagus, it's corn.
Right. I tell you, we have a real kitchen, we do real cooking, we bring in fresh seasonal ingredients, so we can, you know, we make things, just like you do in your kitchen at home. It's wonderful.
All right, now my daughter worked as a waitress, I worked as a waiter. What kind of tips do I get if I work at Noodles?
You know, that's an interesting part of our business model, because we don't ask for tipping and we don't want tipping.
You don't want tipping.
Correct.
It's not just you don't ask, you don't want.
We don't want tipping. We think that we value serving others. We think giving them a great dining experience is important and a great value, and we don't need a tip for doing that.
Well, okay, now I went on at Jim Cramer on Twitter, because people are fascinated by you, and one guy says, well, wait a second, how can they compete with Starbucks, which is developing a new line of food? Panera and Chipotle, is there really room?
Yeah, I would tell you, I think there's, 15 years ago, there was very few fast casual restaurants. Now there's close to 16,000. There's a lot of room, but one thing why we think we're a category of one is because we offer a world of flavors under one roof, and nobody else is doing it.
The United Nations of Food.
Absolutely, the United Nations.
Now, Chipotle's doing an Asian Chop House
Sure.
kitchen. I mean, is this too much like that, or should they be worried? Should you be worried?
You know, I don't think so. I think there's a lot of space in the U.S. for great restaurants. We're very different. Again, global flavors, a lot of variety, a lot of choice in our guests. There's a lot of concepts that are a little more niche orientated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's the Shop House a little more Southeast Asian. We have much greater variety.
Okay, now I've got daughters vegan. I've got kids who just care passionately about genetically modified food. Are you concerned about these things?
You know, I think people today, and one reason why fast casual has grown so much, is people want to feel good about the choices they're making.
Right.
One of the best things about our dishes is, you know, we have real cooking. We don't start your dish until you order it. And every dish is customizable. And our dishes can start vegetarian and you can pick organic tofu or naturally raised pork on top of them. A lot of flexibility.
All right, how important is this notion? For instance, Chipotle made it, since you work there, food with integrity. Is your food healthy for the consumer versus other companies in the sector?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, I think all of us in the restaurant space want to be responsible, allow people to have good choice. So we put the choice in the guest's hands. We don't try to control it. You can eat healthy to indulge, and I think we have hundreds of combinations under 500 calories. And again, you can enjoy a dish as we recommend it, or you can tweak or do anything you want for your own diet and concerns.
How do you get people to work without tips? I mean, you live by the tip as a waiter.
True in some concepts. You know, for us, and I think a lot of us, there's the economic side of the equation. You got to pay competitively. You got to have a good salary. But a great part about working for Noodles and Company is just the pride and passion everyone has with the opportunity. A lot of growth offers tremendous career opportunity on the way up. And you know, if you hire surprisingly nice people that value serving others, they are trying to make sure the guest's happy. They're not trying to get a tip.
Well, let's go into this. Cheryl Batchelder, last week, AFC Enterprises, Popeyes, they promote from within. A lot of the cooks then open up as franchises. We know that Domino's, most of the people who own Domino's, they started out as drivers or started out making pizza. Chipotle, great training program. Let's say, one, I want to work at Noodles, and two, I want to own a franchise Noodles. What do I do?
Well, I tell you, the working for us is great. If you're passionate, we look at a lot more of integrity and characteristics. If you're genuine, if you're friendly, if you can work, if you're competitive, smart, and can work with slightly unreasonable expectations, we can teach you the skills to be successful in the restaurant business. So we want folks that are nice and fun and enjoyable, and then if you enjoy food and serving others, you can be very successful at Noodles and Company.
Excellent. I mean, look, this is a great story. Great stories don't come cheap, 77 times earnings, but obviously this is a great place to go if we get driven down by Syria, because this has very little to do with what's happening over there. Kevin Reddy, Chairman and CEO of Noodles and Company. Now you see why I'm so entranced by this story, and I'm going to take a break and do some eating. Stay with Kramer.